James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0. James Conner in the backfield on the right side of Big Ben. Motion by the tight end McDonald down the line left to right. And the snap goes high over the head of Big Ben all the way back to the 2 to the 1. And the Browns have it in the end zone. And they dive on the ball and recover it for a touchdown. Carl Joseph's got it in the end zone. A touchdown.
Not a bad start.
6-0 Browns. Marquise Pouncey just sailed the ball over the head of Big Ben, who looked at James Conner. They raced back towards inside the 5-yard line. It went into the end zone. B.J. Goodson and Carl Joseph were over there, and Joseph recovers it. Calling signals, takes the snap, gives it, Chubb runs, dips his shoulders, he's to the 40, 35, he's to the 30, cut back 25, he's to the 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Nick Chubb, he's over 1,000, and the Browns lead 6-0.
All right. I think we are good to go. Everything is good. We are live. Yep, we are good to go. So guys, welcome to Load the Box Browns. I am Chris Paxitas. That's Eric Minko. We want to apologize for not coming on last week. As you can hear, I had COVID last week and I still got the call from it. And let me tell you, last Wednesday, I really didn't leave my bedroom. I was so sick. It was awful, but your boy's back better than ever, minus the cough. The cough sucks, but it's better than, better than being as sick as I was. So I'll take that all day. But we're here and we're ready to talk about this pitiful ass team that we call the Browns. But before we get into that, I want to know, how are you doing, Miko? What's going on in your life?
I'm doing okay.
Okay.
We had some pretty big car trouble that happened last weekend. Thankfully that's all fixed now, so that's a huge
Awesome.
plus. I will say that last Friday we got free tickets thanks to a friend of mine. She gives tickets to go to the Jurassic Park Live
Ooh,
downtown.
that'd been cool.
That was a blast. That was a really cool show. A lot like a Disney on Ice type,
Yeah.
but it was really, really good. I was pretty impressed, especially with all the special effects that they did, the dinosaurs where they look as if they're real and they have different sounds and stuff. So it was a pretty good show. It was
Nice.
definitely worth the drive.
Nice.
How about you?
Well, not much has been going on other than, like I said, I had COVID.
Right.
Couldn't do anything over the week. On the weekend, we just got so tired of being in the house. We just went for like a 2-hour drive. All we did was just drive. We had to get out,
Yeah.
Got tired of sitting in the house. So we drove. We didn't go anywhere, obviously. We didn't buy anything, obviously, but we just had to drive, man. And today was my first day back at work. So
Okay.
I was able to actually get out, be outside again, be around people. Everybody's testing negative now.
Good.
Except for this damn cough. If that would go away, that'd be great. But you want to know something that was almost as bad as COVID? The 2022 Cleveland Browns. Before we get into details about this game, do you want to know what stands out to me about this team?
What's that?
There's no heart on this defense anymore. No one has heart. That's the biggest thing. It seems like guys are just there just to be there, just to collect a check and then move on with their day. Nobody wants to win. I'm calling out every single person on that defense. And that includes Myles Garrett. That includes Denzel Ward.
Denzel didn't play last week.
I know, but still, he's a part of this. He's a part of it. I think there's one guy, and I'll say I do think Denzel wants to win. I honestly do think that. But I'd say other than Denzel, there's one guy that I think actually truly gives a shit, and that's John Johnson. I think everybody else, is just kind of there. The heart and soul of this defense left the game against Pittsburgh, and he's not coming back for the rest of the year. That was the heart and soul of this defense. And if you think I'm wrong, I want you to look at what that defense was before him and then after. Yes, I know they weren't playing great while he was on the field, but they were at least stopping the run. You could at least somewhat count on them, somewhat. Right now, you can't count on this defense to do anything. The only thing you can count on them to do is to blow coverages and to let teams run all over them. Don't get me started about the offense, because that is not looking good. I think we're all coming down to earth, realizing what Jacoby Brissett really is, because he's played pretty well for the most part. But now he's showing why he's a backup quarterback. He's a serviceable quarterback. He's a backup quarterback. We know what Jacoby Brissett is. But this defense is god awful. It is awful. It makes me sick to my stomach. We have all these big names on this defense. All these big names. And what do we have to show for it? Something's got to happen. And I'm telling you what, we've got 2 weeks until the bye week. We've got the Ravens this week and then Cincinnati afterwards. Then it's the bye. If things do not change with this defense, Joe Woods needs to be gone. Now, I was ready for him to go after the Jets game. I was ready. And I felt like the only reason why I wouldn't have fired him then is because we were on a short week into coming in Pittsburgh. And then we won. The defense played pretty well for the most part against Pittsburgh. So it's like, okay, you saved your job then. But then what since then? He should be gone. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of looking at him. I'm tired of watching this piss-ass defense. And yeah, we traded for Deion Jones. That's great. Maybe. He's coming off off-season surgery. He's not the same player that he was when he was a Pro Bowler for the Falcons. Now, we didn't give up very much to get him. We didn't. Well, so it's a good gamble. I'm not mad that they made the trade. And we needed something because Jacob Phillips is not good. He's not what we thought he was. I thought he was going to be better than what he was, but he's not. So hopefully Deion Jones can fill in the role that Jacob Phillips should have. But I don't know if that's going to be enough. This team misses Anthony Walker Jr. I miss Anthony Walker Jr. And I don't know how good we're going to be. This is not a playoff team. I mean, they were talking. I saw the Browns posted something about how we've still got the playoffs in our sight. Well, to quote Jim Mora, playoffs? I want to win a damn game first. What, you're talking about playoffs? Yeah. Sorry, I had to go on a rant there, Minko. Go ahead. Take over for me. I had to go on a rant.
I will take you back to a quote, a tweet that was tweeted out 3 days ago by one of us on this show.
Yes.
It says 0 fire plus 0 heart plus 0 execution plus mistakes equals factory of sadness. And that's what we're in right now.
It's exactly
right. We have no heart. We have no fire. We're not executing. And we constantly make mistakes.
Yep.
As you can see, I'm wearing my Cavs shirt.
That's right. Cavs opening day.
The first time in this show's history, I have not wore a brown shirt on this show. That's sad.
Yeah.
That's extremely sad. I mean, literally last year, I still wore Baker Mayfield shirts almost every single week.
Yep.
I almost, because this is what I wore when I was working today. I almost changed my shirt into a brown shirt. I said, no, they don't deserve this.
You're exactly right.
They do not deserve for me to support them right now. They don't.
No.
I still will support them. It's my team. Always has been, always will be. But the fact of the matter is this defense is bad.
Mm-hmm.
The offense, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think a lot of the offense struggles this past week was an old quarterback going up against Bill Belichick. Same thing with the head coaches. They never do good against him for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Why his aura prevents them from doing good, I don't know. But the fact of the matter is this team is playing like shit. That's the only way to put it.
Oh, you're exactly right.
And last week was offense, defense, and special teams. Mike Freeper needs to go too.
Yes.
Stefanski needs to take himself a real hard look on the mirror and say, listen, they said the playoffs are still in the sights. Yes, they are. If you win these next 2 games, you are quite literally in the driver's seat.
Yes.
You may still, even if the Bengals win this week, yes, you wouldn't be tied with them. But the fact of the matter is this, you'd be 3-0 in the division.
That's huge. That is absolutely huge.
Yes, it would be. Because the other teams would each have at least 1 loss.
Yep.
Because the Bengals lost to Baltimore. The Ravens would have lost to us.
Yep.
And then the Steelers obviously lost to us too. That puts you in the driver's seat. And let's be honest. I'm going to be completely honest with you right now.
Yeah, go ahead.
The only team on this schedule that does not look beatable is Buffalo. The only team. Baltimore. Extremely beatable.
They are.
They give up leads in the fourth quarter. Lamar looks like trash if you keep him close within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Cincinnati should have got beat by Andy Dalton as a backup last week with no wide receivers.
Yeah.
No Michael Thomas. No Jarvis Landry and no Chris Olave.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if your starting offense is Andy Dalton and Marquez Callaway, really? And you beat them by what, 1 point? And they were bragging about it? Okay, so then you move on. Then we have what? Miami. They're extremely beatable. They lost to the Jets. Yeah, they're getting Tua back, but who knows what Tua is even going to be?
I'm surprised Tua's going to play.
I agree.
Man, I fear for that man's safety.
That's it. They've got to be careful.
Did you hear what he said today?
No, hang on. Let's get back to that in a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so then coming after the bye week, we have what? We have Miami,
Buffalo,
and then Buffalo. Buffalo, I'm sure is going to be a loss. That's just that team is unbeatable right now.
Buffalo looks damn good.
They look every bit as good as we all thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
Tampa. Then you have Tampa. Tampa just lost to the freaking Steelers.
They are not. This is not the Tampa Bay team that won a Super Bowl.
Yep. And then you get Watson back
at Houston.
That's a huge stepping point. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
If they can get to that point and we're 1 to 2 games back, we can do it.
Exactly.
This team has the talent.
Yep.
But they have to take a real hard, long look in the mirror and say, is this what we want? Do we want to make this year a lost year and put everything towards next year? We don't have a first-round pick, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
If the answer is yes, then screw it. Start sitting people. Guys start sitting out. Let's look forward to next year. Pack it in.
Yeah.
Let the young guys see what they got. So let's see more of D'Anthony Bell. Let's see more of David Bell. Let's see more of Jerome Ford. Oh, wait, he's on the IR, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Point being is, if this is truly what you want to just pack it in and say screw it, then do it, man. Fire the coaching staff, except for Stefanski. Get these guys where they need to be, and let's look forward to next year. But if you truly want to put your head down, grind, and get to a place where you can be in position to be in the playoffs come Watson time, the Houston game is a perfect stepping stone. Houston's not good.
No,
it's not a good team at all. You can use that game even if Watson's bad, and you can catapult going into the next week, which is 2 huge games in the Bengals and Ravens.
Yep. Now, I want to say this. I know I was calling for Joe Woods' job. You were as well as Mike Prefer. Mm-hmm. I'm not calling for Kevin Stefanski's job.
No.
I don't think he should get fired after this year, unless it's an all-out implosion when we don't win another game. But I think after this year, assuming it doesn't go our way, he's going to be on the hot seat.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not calling for his job because this organization needs stability.
Yeah.
It needs it. But I also think, eventually you just kind of got to say enough is enough. This Joe Woods defense since 2020 has had issues. Now I know on paper they've been a top 10 defense last year. And they were like on paper, but if you watched every game, they didn't look like a top 10 defense.
No,
they did not look like that at all. And I don't think they were last year. And they're one of the worst defenses this year.
Yeah. I
think it's time. The writing's on the wall. I think it's time for him to go. Kurt Warner, I don't know if you saw that, but he had a quote. He was on, I think it was like 92.3 The Fan today. And he pretty much said that the scheme is very simple and he'd know exactly how to attack it. And I'm like, wow, you and everybody else.
Yep.
You and everybody else. Everybody knows how to attack this defense. And apparently our defensive scheme is so simple that a 4th-round rookie quarterback by the name of Bailey Zappi can throw 2 touchdown passes and over 300 yards on this defense, but the players still don't know how to line up and who to cover what. So it's simple for the offenses to attack it, but extremely confusing for the defenses to learn it. Doesn't sound like a scheme that you would want your football team to run.
Yeah. Well, the crazy part is 2 weeks ago, he said he was going to simplify it for the guys. and not give them so many options to communicate at the line of scrimmage. It's like, why? If your defense is so bad right now, yeah, you simplify it. Yeah, you go back to the basics. Yeah, you go back to the fundamentals and see, okay, where can we improve? What are we doing wrong? But this defense is just not good.
Yeah.
The players, the linebackers
That was what
are
training
awful.
camp was there for, though.
Yeah,
To learn the fucking thing.
yeah,
If you ain't got it now, you're not going to get it.
right.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, you're fine.
No,
But you're absolutely right. I mean, think about this. Of the players that are on this defense, you have what? 2 guys on the defensive line and 1 guy in the secondary that was not on the starting list last year. You have Emerson, who wasn't starting last year. He's playing a bigger role this year.
Yep.
And you have the 2 defensive linemen. Jacob Phillips was here last year. Helped
Yep.
call plays when Anthony Walker was out.
Yep.
Taki was here last year. The JOK was here last year. Your 2 starting DBs and your 2 starting safeties all here last year. Both your DNs here last year. Alex Wright is a rookie, so yeah, he gets somewhat of an excuse. He wasn't supposed to even play this year.
Yep.
He's supposed to be developmental. But beyond that, all your starters are the same. How is this still a problem? How do you miscommunicate? How? If you guys have been together, they always say constant key.
Yep.
With this defense, it sure as hell ain't.
Yep.
They're not good.
No, they're not.
The players that were good last year are no longer good. Denzel Ward is having a rough year. JOK is having a rough year. Taki doesn't look like he can cover a fly on the wall. Your defense is getting 0 pass rush beyond Myles Garrett. 0. And why Andrew Berry continuously thinks that the defensive tackle position is not valuable is beyond me.
Yeah. Another
How
guy
can
who's
you look?
another guy who's having a rough year, Grant Delpit.
Yeah. He is like, to me, he is like Ronnie Harrison from last year. He'll make a really good play, and you're like, that's what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he makes some either A, a miscommunication, or B, he tries to play Superman and he's out of position and the ball's over his head.
Yep.
You know, we
Yep.
both were super high on him coming into this year.
Yep.
And he's done nothing but disappoint this year.
Yep. You know, one thing, even though, you know, we lost, we should still be somewhat celebrating something because Myles Garrett broke the all-time sack record for Cleveland. He finally beat Clay Matthews. We should be celebrating that. But we're not even talking about it.
No, because it's a shadow on the wall.
Exactly.
Compared to how bad this team looks. And you know, and I know we haven't got there yet, but I'm gonna say it now. Kevin, for the love of God, read that dude's shirt from Thursday night and run the motherfucking ball.
Please.
Stop trying to be cute. Stop trying to run tight end reverses. Stop trying to outcoach your opponent. Do what you've always done, man.
Do what
Your
works.
offense is good. Your scheme works. Make it simple for Jacoby. He should have easy reads. Stop trying to throw outside the numbers. It's clear the arm strength ain't there.
Yep.
Keep everything, you know, between the hash lines if you can.
Yep.
If you have to go out there, so be it. But point is, stop trying to do these 20, 25-yard routes. It's not working. He can't get the ball there.
Yep.
But
When
yet
Deshaun Watson comes back, he can get the ball there.
Yeah.
He's got the arm strength.
Yeah.
Jacoby does not. You said it best, man. You said it best.
You know, and the thing is you can't blame everything on Brissett. You
You can't.
The offensive line was abysmal. I mean,
Yeah.
they were in the backfield constantly on Jacoby this past week.
Yeah. Losing Wyatt Teller hurts.
Right.
And he's not playing
Right.
this week. He's
Well,
out.
Did you hear what Stefanski said?
No.
Stefanski said, I'm not ruling anybody out on a Wednesday. But
Okay.
it
Well,
is
Wyatt
very
said
doubtful.
that he's pretty much. Wyatt Teller said that that he's pretty much not going to play.
Well, I'm just telling you what Stefanski said in
Okay.
his presser today.
Gotcha.
And so likely he's out, yes. But, you know, they have to figure this out. They have to.
Yep.
You have to make a adjustment. And I think that may be what it is. They they do really well for a couple of series, right?
Yep.
They look good because it's all scripted. They know what the game plan is.
Yep.
Then when other teams say, this is the NFL, we can adjust. You know what they do? They go, I don't know what to do.
Yep.
How do we adjust to their adjustments? They don't know what to do. They have no idea. They freak out like they just got their butt shown in the middle of the third grade.
Yep.
Their pants got pulled down. Like they have zero idea what to do. And they've got to figure it out, man. You got to be able to adjust. Teams are going to continuously punch you in the mouth because the NFL, this is the professional football league, the National Football League. This is not college. This is not, Division III football. This is not some backyard football game. Whatever you want to call it. This is not what it is.
Yep.
These are professionals. This is the 1% of the 1%. You are professionals.
Yep.
Not amateurs. Not in the freaking Johnny Manziel fan-controlled football league. That's not what this is. Flat out. Stop acting like it.
Yep.
Pull your britches up. You're getting paid millions of dollars to do this. Put your head on. And I'm going to give you the quote John Johnson said today. And
Thank
I know
you.
we said we were going to talk about this, and this is the fact of the matter. He says, it's a commitment thing. When practice is over, you can't just run out of the building. Leaders on this team need to get together. Something's got to change. That gave me fucking goosebumps.
Yep. Me too.
How can this team and these players look themselves in the fucking mirror? And I'm sorry, but that's what it is. How can you look yourselves in the mirror and say, I want to be like Kyler Murray. I want to go home and play Call of Duty. You know what? You're allowed. You are allowed to go home and play Call of Duty. But when it's not working, and this stuff is, you're not playing well on the field. You're miscommunicating. You're not you're not in your gap, Jacob Phillips, and you're not covering the people the right way. You're not catching the ball, Anthony Schwartz, and you're doing things that shouldn't happen. You need to spend more time in the lab. You need to perfect your craft. What do they always say? I need to perfect my craft. I need to do better. And if I have to hear Kevin Stefanski say, I need to watch the tape one more damn time, I'm going to go nuts. I'm so tired of it, man. I mean, literally, I've never, ever on this show, I've been doing this show now for 2 years, I've never worn a non-brown shirt. And I'm not wearing a brown shirt today because of this team. I'm so sick and tired of this team. We should have 4 more wins on the season.
Yep.
We should have 1 loss. That's all we should have. We should have lost to the Patriots. That should be the only loss we have in the season.
Yep. You're right.
Every other team should have lost to us. We beat ourselves every game.
Yep.
We almost lost the other 2. We could easily have 0 wins on the season.
Yeah.
Because we beat ourselves. I watched Building the Browns last night with the wife. And Nick Chubb said it best. We have to stop beating ourselves. Myles Garrett said the same thing. If you have leaders on this team that are saying the same thing, it's bad. And I'm going to tell you this. They had the clips from the Chargers game when the Chargers put it away. Nick Chubb is a man of very, very few words. And when he goes, oh my God, we're going to lose. That's bad.
Yep.
That's bad. This
Yeah.
man says nothing. Ever. Ever. And yet he showed emotion because he's so sick and tired of this team losing. And so am I. And I'm going to be honest. I'm not big on the fans booing. They deserve every single boo they've gotten.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Especially the last 2 weeks. You cannot play at home back-to-back weeks against opponents you could have and should have beat and then expect to have cheers. That crowd is loud at the beginning of the game. And they immediately turn on them when they start playing like dog shit. And that's what they've played like the last 2 weeks.
Yep. Exactly. Man, let's move on. Let's move on to this week. We can dwell about the past all we want, but eventually we got to look forward. And what we've got right now, we are playing against a very beatable Baltimore Ravens team. With that being said, we are easily beatable. It's been proven time and time and again. And you know what? This injury report, not looking good this week. Not looking good. We've already touched on Wyatt Teller, more than likely going to be out. You know who else? And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tell you two guys who didn't practice today due to injuries. Myles Garrett, go figure, not practicing, re-aggravated his shoulder. He didn't practice.
Did you hear what he said, though?
What?
On Sunday after the game, he said, I will be playing on Sunday.
Well, he better. He better. Anyway, he didn't play, or he didn't practice. Jadeveon Clowney, he didn't practice either. Jack Conklin didn't practice. Denzel Ward's still in concussion protocol.
That's a big one.
Yeah. Bitonio, Mari Cooper, and David Njoku, they were all on veteran rest days. So that we kind of knew that they would do that. Alex Wright was full, but is on the injury report. Tony Fields didn't practice due to an illness. Joe Hag has a concussion, but he doesn't really play anyway, so not too worried about him. We'll go through the Ravens. They had 13 players miss practice this week. Lamar Jackson was limited, but he'll be fine. Yeah. Lamar was limited with a hip. They had Devin Duvernay and Marcus Peters that were just rest days for them. Other players that didn't practice were Mark Andrews, Calais Campbell, Ben Cleveland, J.K. Dobbins, Morgan Moses, and Patrick Ricard. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Now, are those all did not practice, or are those limited?
They did not practice. Okay. The limited participants were Rashad Bateman and Justin Houston and Ronnie Stanley. So there you go. Their running back Justice Hill was a full participant in practice. So that's the injury report this week. The Ravens are 6.5-point favorites in Baltimore. Not a huge difference.
Well, they automatically get 3 points for being at home.
Exactly. That's
so
what
they're expecting them for them to beat us by a full touchdown.
It's still not huge, but still, this is a very winnable game. But man, we're not going to win this game if the defense doesn't show up. I mean, if you're going to pick a game to show up at, this is a good one. We're playing against a quarterback who is notorious for torching us. Since Lamar Jackson has come into the Ravens organization, he really doesn't lose to the Browns. He really doesn't. What he's lost to us, like, I think once or twice, give or take, something like that.
Yeah, once by Baker.
Yeah, once by Baker, and then once last year too. I think they beat him last, but that wasn't.
No, it was backup quarterback, right?
Yeah,
the Huntley game.
Yes, it was. Okay. Yep, you're right.
And they almost beat us with Tyler Huntley.
Yeah, and then Baker beat in 2019. We beat him once in Baltimore.
The Chubb game.
Yeah.
Chubb when had like 200-something yards rushing.
Yep, that was the beginning of the season. I remember that very well. So there you go.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
This team has given me very little reason to believe that we're gonna win the game.
No, you're exactly right.
If there was ever a week for John Johnson's words to ring true, for the whole adage of it's time to put up or shut up, this is the week.
Yeah.
And I hate to be Debbie Downer. I'm not like that.
I know.
I remain pretty neutral. And I've had it about up to here with this team this year.
Yep.
I have become so many highs and the worst of lows this year. And if there was ever a game for them to figure it out, it's this game. Is all hope lost? No. All hope is not lost. Is this a very big uphill climb? Absolutely.
Yep.
This game could easily be a win if they get their shit together, execute the game plan, and stop Lamar Jackson. But the key is, as we reverse my tweet from last week, they need to have a whole lot of heart, a whole lot of effort, and a whole lot of execution.
Yep.
If not, they're going to get absolutely dominated this week.
Yep.
Because I don't know if you saw, but Lamar said that they're pissed off after last week losing to the Bengals. Or no, they beat the Bengals last week. No, who'd they lose to last week? I'm sorry, I'm stupid here.
Let me look it up. I can't.
They lost to the Giants. That's right.
Yep. That's right.
Lamar said he's pissed off. I'm gonna see if I can find that quote real quick. But that's one team I don't want to play pissed off. It just doesn't make. It's not a team that I want to play when they are upset.
Yep.
Because I'm sorry, but they have the ability. Here it is, right here. It says Lamar Jackson on the team's mindset. Our attitude is we're pissed off about losing. But at the same time, we can't dwell on it. We have to move on and focus on the Browns. We're just ready to put on a show because we're so mad. Not good.
No, it's not good at all. That's not good at all.
The defense better get this shit together. Players need to be in their gaps, especially the way they run the ball.
Yep.
It's...
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a feeling that our keys to win the game on defense are both going to be the same this week. For me, you want to know what my key for the defense? Just fucking have heart. That's all. Like right now, that's like give me an effort. Give me an actual effort.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm asking this week. Effort.
Yep.
Because I don't see it.
Right.
I see missed tackles. I see lollygagging.
Guys out of position, not hitting their gaps they're supposed to,
Yep.
not covering guys, pointing fingers at each other, throwing their hands up in the air. If I see one more damn player throw their hands up in the air because the other guy should have covered them and they miscommunicate again, I'm going to puke.
Reminds me when I played high school football, if my coach saw any of us put our hands up in the air like what the hell happened? What did we do wrong? We had to run. It was immediate. We had to run a lap around the field. Around.
That's what they need to do.
Yep.
And that won't really matter much because they're conditioned that way to where they can, but something. Start finding guys, man. I don't know what else we can really do. Either fire Joe Woods or start finding these guys for piss poor play.
Yep.
Something's got to change.
Something has to. Yeah. We've got to see a change. I mean, if we lose these next two games,
it's over.
Yeah.
All hope is lost.
Honestly, we lose the next two games, you can kiss the playoffs goodbye.
Oh yeah.
We're not going to make the playoffs.
No, I mean at that point you're what 2-6.
Yeah.
The probability goes extremely down.
Yeah.
Because I mean you'd have to win out.
Yeah.
And even then you'd have what 10 wins. That's if you won out.
Yeah.
It's just not enough, man. I don't know. But
10-7's not going to make the playoffs this year.
It could.
It could,
but you're not going to win 8 straight.
No.
There's no way. No team's going to win 8 straight. We're not the Patriots from back when they almost went undefeated. That's not who we are.
We're not the Eagles.
No, we're not the Eagles. So, yeah, they just got to figure it out. But, yeah, obviously you already gave your key for defense. I'm going to have, it's kind of like combined.
Yeah.
But I guess it's two in the same sense. I want to see him get a turnover. Just give me a turnover. I don't care.
Nice.
I don't care if it's a strip sack fumble. I don't care if it's an interception. God forbid you get an interception. I don't know what I would do if the DBs actually caught the damn ball. You know, God forbid.
Yep.
So give me some kind of turnover. I need to either see a strip sack fumble recovered by the Browns, or I need to see some kind of interception. Get this team to fire up. Get them lit. Get them going. And that's the other part of it. Kind of like what you said. Have some damn passion, man. Play with some fire. Stop the run. Get a turnover. Get this defense going. Get the offense a chance to capitalize off of what you have done.
Yeah.
And then for the offense, it's exactly that. It's a twofold thing. If you get the opportunity capitalize on the damn turnover. Obviously, we didn't do it last week.
Yep.
Miles got the strip sack fumble, and we didn't capitalize on it. Whose fault is that? The offense. They played like shit on that drive.
Yep.
Second thing, run the daggone ball, Kevin.
Yeah.
Never in my history, would I think you would give the NFL's leading rusher 12 carries, and he still averaged almost 5 yards a carry.
Sorry.
4.7, and you only give him 12 carries.
Yep.
He gets behind and he throws his hands up. I don't know what to do. Look at every other good rushing team. They still run the ball when they're down.
Yep.
And people say, oh, well, look how many rushing attempts he's got. He's got the most rushing attempts in the league. Good. He should have more. Look how good he is. If not, give the ball to Kareem.
Yep. Yep.
Like, you have this double-headed sword for a reason. Use them. Stop trying to get cute. God forbid, man. All right, go ahead.
My key on offense, adapt. Obviously, you talked about it earlier. The scripted plays are great, but when the defense adjusts, this offense does not adjust with it. They've got to learn to adapt to what the defense is giving them and change it up. If they are not to use this name, but if they're loading the box, so to speak, against the run, adjust to it. Bounce it outside, or give me a short pass. Give me a little dink and dunk. Because obviously that we know that Jacoby can't throw the ball deep. We've seen it. It's just not there anymore. So give me a slant, or bounce Chubb outside the tackles. Mm-hmm. Adjust to it. Learn to adjust to what the defense is giving you.
Yeah.
So that's my key on offense. And if the Browns do that, then we got a chance.
We do.
We got a chance. We've always got a chance, but
they can win this game. They just have to want it bad enough.
Yeah, and that's the big question: do they want it? I don't know.
I don't know what the answer is. Picks. Obviously, we didn't do last week. But as a total, you currently are winning. You are up 36-30. We both had pretty good weeks in week 5, but unfortunately, all of my missed picks came back to get me. So I have already made my picks, so I'll kind of go based off of what you pick. So the first game is tomorrow night's game, and it is New Orleans going up against Arizona.
Another ugly Thursday night game.
I don't think so. Jameis doesn't have an injury designation, so he could be back. Michael Thomas did practice limited this week, so he could be back. DeAndre Hopkins, back. Robbie Anderson on the Cardinals. So they now have a few more weapons to go
How
with.
about that Robbie Anderson situation?
That's wild.
Yeah. Not as bad as Antonio Brown, but still pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And next
how you get fired on your day off.
Hey, you know what? If we see Robbie Anderson go in a hot tub in a foreign country, butt ass naked, then we got a problem. But give me New Orleans in that game.
Okay, I take the Cardinals only because D-Hop's back. I think that's the neutralizer there, and plus I really need Kyler Murray to do well this week.
Gotcha.
So next we have the I don't know who they are, Buccaneers traveling to the Carolina Panthers.
Give me the Bucs in that game though, but
it's easy.
Yeah, Carolina sucks.
Carolina's bad.
Yeah.
Next, I think this could be a pretty decent game. You have the Red Hot Colts traveling to Tennessee, and I don't know if you heard, but they are getting a new dome.
Who Tennessee is?
Yep.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it does like $2.2 billion.
Wow.
And the owner's funding like $800 million of it.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Colts in that game, but I'm gonna go with Colts. I think probably a little bit better than Tennessee right now.
Agreed. I'm going the same. Next we have the Atlanta Falcons traveling to Bengals.
I'm going to take the Bengals, but it could go either way.
You know what? I was gonna kind of choose my pick based off of what you did, and I was back and forth in this game. The Falcons aren't playing bad. They
No, they're
have a
not.
decent team. They're first in their division. I'm gonna go with the Falcons.
I hope you're
think
right.
they have a chance to win this. I would love that to happen.
Yeah, I hope you're right in that.
Next game is going to be the red hot New York Giants traveling to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I
Man.
took the Giants.
Brian Dable's got that team playing very well. He's got Daniel Jones looking like a different quarterback.
Yeah.
So yeah, give me the Giants.
Yeah, I think it's an easy one. Jacksonville,
Yeah.
we don't know what the hell they are.
I will say I like what Jacksonville is doing. They've got a great coach in Doug Peterson. With long nose there.
Trevor Lawrence.
What?
Just call him Long Nose.
Yeah. What's his Sunshine?
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence. There we go.
This man just call him Long Nose.
Anyway, he's in a good situation with Doug Peterson, so he should be thankful that he's got Doug Peterson as his head coach. But they're not going to win this game.
Yeah, I mean they're not looking good the last 2 weeks, so I don't know.
It's a young team.
That's very true. Next, we have your boys in MCDC going to Dallas. Dak's supposed to be back for this game.
I'll take Dallas on that one, but
I don't know. Detroit coming off the bye week, they might pull something.
I doubt it. It's just not a good team.
Next, we have the Green Bay Packers traveling to Washington. And I know you weren't here for it, and we weren't here for this, but did you hear the comments by Ron Rivera about Carson Wentz?
I saw him in passing. Somebody asked him what the issue with the team was or something like that.
Why does he think that the Commanders are falling behind the other teams in the NFC? Without hesitating, he said quarterback. You can't do that.
No, that's not
You
good.
can't do that. But either way, Carson Wentz won't be there. He's on IR with a broken wrist. I am actually going to take Taylor Heineke. Let's go Commanders. Because I think the Packers are just lost. I think if they can win this game, maybe they can do something, but they are lost.
I am taking the Packers, but because I don't trust anything that comes out of Washington.
Yeah.
But it would not surprise me if the Taylor Heineke led Commanders win this game.
Yeah,
would not surprise me at all.
The Packers looked bad last week against
Yeah.
the team that we're about to discuss.
Yeah.
And now at the same time, the next game is going to be the Jets traveling to Denver. I will say this, like we had talked about, obviously we ultimately lost to them, but I told you the same thing. I said, I fully believe that if we face them later on the year, they could be a very dangerous team. And Robert Saleh has them playing very good football. I am obviously taking the Jets because Denver is abysmal as well. Russell Wilson is a shell of himself. They can't get the ball to the weapons they have. It is just rough watching them play football.
Yeah, give me the Jets.
Did you watch any bit of that Monday night game?
Not really.
All I gotta say is thank God we don't have to see them on prime time for a while. Because I mean, it is just abysmal watching them play football. I watched a little bit of it and I just said, screw this, I'm done. I ended up watching the rest of the Guardians game because I mean, obviously, I always choose over baseball, but at the same time, I wanted to see the Guardians playoffs. See how the game went.
Which you know what? Shout out to them.
Oh,
They
yeah.
kind of
They weren't
got
supposed to be there.
screwed. No, they weren't supposed to be there. Kind of got screwed a little bit. But you know what?
Yeah, but we don't know how that game would have gone. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the Yankees got what they wanted, as they always do.
Yep.
Because the majors, the MLB needed the Yankees and the Astros to be the series that this was. They needed that.
Yeah. But you know what?
Good.
It is what it is. Like you said, Guardians shouldn't have been there. They're the youngest team in baseball. Yet they won the division. They won the AL Central. Can't say anything bad about them this year.
Oh,
so
hell no.
Can't wait. Can't wait for next year.
The crazy part is that they don't lose anybody this year. They don't really have any free agents.
Yep.
The catcher. That's it.
Yeah, I was going to say
And then what's his name? One of the relievers has been there forever. He was part of the World Series team. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he's supposed to be a free agent. That was it. I was looking
yeah.
buddy. That's it. They don't lose anybody this year.
Yeah.
So I mean, they very well could be back and even better next year, especially if the Dolphins decide to spend some money.
Yeah.
But
it won't
obviously
happen.
Not talking about
But...
baseball. Yeah. Well, I agree. Anyway, so we'll go on to the next game. We have the Houston Texans traveling to Vegas. I went with Vegas, although I don't know if you saw it, but the shove from Devontae Adams was pretty despicable.
Yeah, that was okay. I've got two views on that shove. Number one, I don't know what the hell Devontae Adams was thinking doing something like that. I realize you're frustrated. Hell, I'm fucking frustrated. My team, but you don't see me shoving people. With that being said, homeboy's got to be smart enough to not walk in front of a player like that. Two wrongs don't make a right, but there was one wrong that was absurdly worse than the other.
Yep.
Like, they both are not innocent. Like, again, that dude should not have. He needs to pay attention to where he's going.
Yeah.
But he did not deserve to get shoved like he did, and I'm glad he pressed charges.
He got thrown into the next county.
I'm glad that he pressed charges because, you know, players are not above the law. And if I was to do that to some random dude, I would get charged.
Well, and also on top of that, though, if you think about it this way, if they're at the point now where the players always say, well, if a fan assaults me, I need to be able to assault them back. What would have happened if that guy would have got up and punched Devontae Adams?
Exactly.
The whole world would have been set ablaze because of that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So the players do need to be held accountable for their actions.
Yep.
Do I think he should go to jail? Absolutely.
No, I don't think he should go to jail.
But do I think that it got the right amount of coverage? Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm. I mean, he literally shoved that dude into the next county.
Yeah.
He blasted that guy.
It did not look good. Yeah. Like I said, again, I think the guy was wrong as well. He's got to watch where he's going. You can't do that.
Especially at the end of the game.
But did he deserve to get shoved the way he did? Hell no. Not at all. Not even a little bit.
I agree.
Just to kind of sidestep, watch out. Maybe Devontae can say, hey, move your ass, something like that. Watch where the hell you're going.
Fuck out my way.
Yeah. Something like
move,
that.
Bitch, get out the way. Get out the way, bitch, get out the way.
Exactly. We went all Luda on his ass, but no, this man went Floyd Mayweather on him. Exactly, Floyd, but whatever. Anyway, but I'm taking the Raiders.
All right, next game. I think this is easy. Kansas City traveling to San Fran.
I take Kansas City on that one.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way you're not taking them.
No.
This could be an interesting one. You have the Seattle Seahawks traveling to the LA Chargers.
I don't know what these Seattle Seahawks are. I have no freaking clue.
Yep.
But I'm taking the Chargers only because I like the quarterback over Seattle.
Yep.
But would it shock me if if Geno Smith throws for 4 touchdowns and Justin Herbert throws 3 interceptions?
Yeah.
What is this world where Russell Wilson is having his worst year and Geno Smith is having his best?
Yeah, that's a good point. The redemption arc is real.
I mean, 3 years ago, if you would have told me that Russell Wilson was going to be on Denver playing abysmal, and then Geno Smith was starting for the Seahawks. God, sorry about that. But yeah, if you had told me that, finally, I told you it won't go away. But yeah, if you had told me 3 years ago Russell was going to be on the Broncos playing awful and Geno was starting for the Seahawks and playing good football, I'd have told you you're crazy.
You're on crack.
Yeah, but here we are. So
here we are.
I mean, I'm taking San Diego.
I know what you meant.
I'm taking the Chargers, but who knows what Seattle's going to do.
Right. Yeah, I took Chargers as well.
Yeah.
Next, this is the Sunday night game. Probably going to be a little bit abysmal. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to the Miami Dolphins. Apparently, Tua might be back. Oh, I forgot to listen to what he said earlier. I'm taking the Dolphins no matter who's starting. But I will let you go ahead and yours. What Tua said earlier.
So Tua was he was pretty much asked what he remembers of that Bengals game. He said he remembers starting the game. He remembers everything up until that hit. He said the only thing he remembers after that hit was kind of going to the hospital.
Wow.
Yeah. He said that's it. Before the hit, he remembers the game. He remembers starting it. But after that hit, he remembers going to the hospital, and that's it. That's scary.
That's wild.
That is
very
absolutely downright frightening.
Yeah.
I'm scared for this man's health.
Yeah,
because my man, we might have the next Antonio Brown in the offseason. If my man goes nuts, then we've got a problem. That did not look good. I am taking Miami, and good for Kenny Pickett got his first win last week. Whatever.
Well, he was out.
Well, technically he got the win because
he started the game, but he didn't contribute to the points. Trubisky did all the work.
No, you're right, but technically, it was like Brian Hoyer got that win against Buffalo, but Brandon Whedon played most of the game.
Sure.
So that's pretty much where I was coming from. But Kenny Pickett's a bad quarterback.
Yeah,
so give me Miami.
All right, awesome. This is probably the easiest pick of the week because I don't know anyone who would pick them. You have the Chicago Bears traveling to the New England Patriots. I don't know if Mac Jones is going to be back, but as long as Bailey Zappi is starting, I'm going with the Patriots because the way that he played last week, he's on fire.
Yeah, I think Chicago's an absolute dumpster fire. They're not a good football team. Justin Fields is not a good quarterback. I'm sorry.
Listen, that man has less rushing attempts than wait, what was it? He has less passing attempts through the whole season as Josh Allen had through the first 3 games. That's bad. They don't throw the ball. You can't say the quarterback's that bad if they don't throw the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know how much you watched the Commanders game, but he's got no help. Much. I mean, zero help. I'm sorry, but Darnell Mooney, he's probably a good slot guy.
Yeah.
He's not your number 1. Equanimous St. Brown, I think it's the number 2 there. The guy they got from the Packers.
Yeah.
He shouldn't be your number 1. They have nothing. Cole Kmet, he's probably a number 2 tight end. Maybe a number 1 if they had some help. Their running game isn't good. You have random big plays from David Montgomery or from Herbert, but either way, they're just not good. Their O-line's trash. The play calling is rough.
Yeah.
At the best. I mean, it's free Justin Fields for me, but I'm a little biased being an Ohio State fan, but the offense is just, there's nothing around him. That's the epitome of let's draft this kid, give up the farm to get him, and then provide him with nothing.
Yeah. Give me the Pats.
And then the next game is our game. Obviously the Ravens traveling to Cleveland. Wait, is it in Cleveland?
No, it's in Baltimore.
I messed that one up. Yeah.
Browns traveling to Baltimore. I mean, I'm going to take the Browns because that's what I do, but man, we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be a tough one. I mean, I'm not, we didn't beat around the bush this week. This is going to be a tough game. I'm counting on the defensive leaders this week. I really hope, like you said, somebody took John Johnson's words to heart. I really, really hope that because this is not good. This is not a good football team.
I have not done this in a year. I'm taking the Ravens. That's where I'm at with this team.
Wow.
I've picked them, even thought they were gonna lose. I thought they were gonna lose the Chargers. Obviously, we did. I picked them because I was riding with them. That's where I'm at with this team. I'm going with the Ravens this week, and I hate to say that. That kills me to say that. Not only does it kill me not to pick the Browns, but to pick the Ravens.
Yeah.
The fucking Ratbirds.
Yeah.
But that's where I'm at. I hope I'm wrong. God, I hope I'm wrong. I'm hoping that it's the opposite. It's the jinx. It's out there. It's going to be the week that we turn this thing around. I can get my hope back up. I can be a typical Browns fan. If we win this week, I'm saying we're going to the playoffs. But the fact of the matter is I just don't know.
Yep.
I mean, I say it again. I've never worn a non-brown shirt on this show.
Yeah.
And this week I am.
Well, there you go. Well,
there we go.
Guys, that's going to do it for this week's Load the Box. We're going to see you next week. Hopefully, we're talking about a Browns win. It ain't looking good, but hopefully, we'll talk about a win. So, on that note, guys, we're going to see you next week. I'm Chris Paxitas. That's Eric Minko. And we'll see you next time. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go. Hoo, hoo.